Welcome back to the tutorial. So far we have worked on this these developments on the mockup image. This is the last concluding part of it, the footer area. I've quickly added the footer area, and then this is what we have, the logo. I expanded this logo to be here while the name is mentioned underneath it. Now arrange these other small features as the head footer of the web page. So the purpose of this is to help the user access these other links here and scattered places in just from one section, and even many more links. And here we have the subscribe button where the person can subscribe to the website and continue to receive email messages, email letters on any new developments on the website. So that's by the company. So right now we are heading straight to how to develop this, how to design the interface that we just designed the mockup. So to get started, I'm going to launch my Visual Studio Code. We go to our class folder. This is our class folder. That is a e-commerce. I opened a new folder for it that I called e-commerce. So in this e-commerce folder, I'll click inside the address bar of this folder and then click cmd, launch it, code space, so that we can dive straight to our Visual Studio coding environment. And there we are. Close the welcome note and also close your ChatGPT section. So right now we need more additional folder, which is the CSS folder. The CSS will basically be responsible for the styling of this page. If you notice, this page is far more beautiful. It's not just a plain HTML that was used to make this possible. We are going to use CSS to make it very look alike like this one we have here. So right now we have the pictures that we'll be using, the pictures of the items, the lady, the banners. All these pictures have already been designed and kept ready for us to use and work. So we will be using them just exactly the way it is and no other modification. So we'll return back, and right here we'll have to create our first page, which is the index page. The index page is ready. We come here, point it down, create our style.css for the style sheet. So the two of them are ready now. The index page is here, the style sheet is here. So what next? Let's go back to our mockup image. Let's take a closer look at the drawing that we have here that we did with Figma. Here we have the navigation bar, which is very simple one, running from here to here, and it has this green color. Okay, so we'll have to adapt this color to exact resemblance of it. You can get this color code, but if not because of network strength, I would have gone back to get the exact color code. But you can just use any color or a color that is very close to it to develop this because of the training set. So right now, let's start with the navigation bar. Let's work on the navigation bar first. So I will return back to navigation bar. On the index page, I'll start my coding. I'll call it Niger Marketplace or just Niger Markets. So Niger Markets is the name. I will give a space before the end of head. So starting from here, I want to add the CSS. So my CSS is found inside this folder called CSS stroke styles. Remember, the S is there. So I also need to add my font awesome kit API. So I'll go straight to my font awesome, access my kit, scroll down. This is my kit. I'll find the code here. So I'll paste it. Now I'm good to go. Let's speed code this web page. It's going to be interesting. and we start with this logo. This is the logo that we'll be using. So I will need to find this logo on Font. Awesome. So let's find the logo. The logo. Okay, I can just design everything here without the matching logos and come back for the logo. So let's just begin. So first thing first, I would like to call this the header of the web page. This is the header of the web page, and in this header we are going to have this to be green in color, no problem. But inside the header there is another div that is holding this guy not from not touching these edges. So I will have it called header div. So the first thing is the icon, so I will give it a space, and then Niger marketplace. So let's just keep our screen left and right. Let's style it this way so that we can be seeing whatever we want to work on and work on it simultaneously without much disturbance. So but it will need a lot of scrolling left and right because we are working on the desktop version of the website. So Niger, the is a heading one, Niger markets. Okay, so that is for the heading area. Why did I say so? Here we have the menus by the side, so I'm going to cut the whole of this and call it the heading, the title, page title, the one holding the page title. So outside the page title I will have this navigation bar that started from here down to this two. So they are varied in design. So because of their varied nature in design, I am going to make them look quite different. Yeah, little different. So the first one is the FAQ stroke forum. So I'll call the holder the nav menu container. That is the container that will hold the four of them together. So remember that they're all being held by this main one that is covered by the green header. Okay, so I'll call the first one the FAQ tab. Is going to have a content which is ahref, because we are not loading this to any page, so I'm just going to use hash. I'm going to use hash to hash it. So I will use forum. So right now I'm going to the next one, which is the sign up button. So I will call it sign up, and this name is not going to be called this, so I can just call it the button design. So after sign up button we have another button design that will be for signing, and then after that there's going to be this cart holder. I will call it just the cart icon. The icon will just be there, but before the icon we need a span that will hold 0. The span will just hold 0 and the icon will just be like this. So this is exactly what we want it to look like, and that's the end for just this heading area. So what we have designed so far will not make any sense when you preview it. Let's go live. Come this way to preview it live, and this is what it looks like. Yeah, don't worry, we are going to add the icons so that they will also make some sense, much better sense. So we will have to get the cart basket for the logo. That's we're talking about the one that will represent this very logo here. So we will go straight, get the cart, basket is this particular one I'm talking about. Copy the code, come immediately here, paste it. This is it. Then we need the next one, which is this question mark. So I will search for question and look at him here, the one that has a circle. So I've gotten it. I've copied the code. Go look for it, paste it there. So we go back again to sign up and sign in. Sign up is in white color, sign in is in red. So we need to specify the difference between the two. So you go inside the class area, inside the class, give a space, tell this one that you're going to be white, while you tell this one that you're going to be red. Even by saying this, it doesn't make any difference. If you preview your website, see that it doesn't make any difference. But don't worry, when we start coding it, it will make some difference. So now we have the cart. So I will have to get the cart, the shopping cart that best suits what we have as a design here, which is the one that has whale. Look at it here. You copy it, go back, come here, paste it. So far, this is what we have in our design, and everything is well represented, except that it's not having this beautiful design. But no problem. So let's maximize our page and move on with our design. We need to add this very image. We need to add this image, and by the time we add this image, okay, because of the yes, to avoid making it much difficult for you and very challenging to comprehend, we'll finish up with this header before we come down to the image, so that it will not be very challenging to understand. So let's go back to the within environment. We'll maximize the screen right now. So we'll start with the header. Go to your style sheet. There, the style sheet that the body, the margin should be 0, and the padding should be 0, and then the font family should be sans serif. Font size should be 13 pixels. Okay, and the website background should observe closely so that the background of the website is a little bit of some kind of green, so they're not really green, so we're gonna make it whitewashed, yeah, something like this is fine. So we pull it down small. Okay, so this is better. So right now we have achieved something. When you go to your live page, you see what you have achieved. It's just this light green background. So let's add a ribbon, navigation bar. We will have to go to the header, come down, tell him header. Remember, it is not a class, so you don't need to put dot header, just type header. So in the header, we need the background to be green. Yeah, but this kind of green is a little bit different from the green we have here. So it's going to be lighter yellow, yellowish color. So push it up small. So then the next thing after that, from the what we have here, is that it's going to run from edge to edge. It's already running from edge to edge, but you need to still remind him and force it that you should not change as time goes on. So it has taken note of that, and it will never change. So next after that is for us to tell him that every text inside you should be white, no matter what. So every text inside you should be white, and that's what it is trying to do now. So here we have that, you can notice that it has a little padding up and down, so we need to add some padding. So the padding top, let's just give it some kind of 5. Padding bottom, some kind of 5 as well. So right now we have the following, which is still fine. So right now we need to work on the Niger markets and the logo by the side. So let's give attention there. But before we give attention there, you see that the whole of these things we have here are staying below. We want them to stay all in the same line without going down. So let's tell him to do that. And you do that by saying display flex so that they will squeeze up on the same axis. Okay, they have, just that I need to specify their real features, their real width. So now I have done that. So let's preview the page, reload the page. Okay, so let's go back to our design. We'll get the header div, copy the header div. So the header div, I'll tell him that is a class. We're going to run instead of 100%. Why? We want it to be 90%, because if you notice that this guy did not start, if this is the full size of our screen, this is the full size of our screen, see that even this icon did not start from the beginning. Likewise, where it ended did not start from the beginning. So making it very clear that we need to make it a little bit narrow, so the text will center while the green can run edge to edge. So the margin should be 0 auto so that it will really hang on the center. Yes, it's hanging on the center now. That's why it has given this margin. How do you know? By changing the background color to something lighter or something darker to help you to know areas that have been affected. Look at it from here to here. So meaning that our code is responding well. So let's go back to the next guy. The next guy now from our diagram is to make this Niger marketplace stay in line with this whole of these guys, which they are still not listening to us. So you will have to tell him, so which is a display equal to flex. You see they have listened now and they are all on the same axis, squeezing themselves up to be on the same line. So we need to make this Niger marketplace to be a bit bigger, and we need to color the market to be in light orange color. So let's focus our attention on the page title. The page title area is going to take some kind of a small space, like the width of about 20 percent of the page. We want it to take, and then the so-called logo is fine to have here, but the market is going to be separated from the rest of the head. The reason why is because of the orange color that you saw, the orange background that you saw that this market was having here. So that's exactly why we need to use span to pick it off. So when we have picked it, nothing will happen yet, but we're going to work on it and make it happen. So let's make it happen. Right now, I'm going to call on this same guy, that's the page title, that is holding them all, which is holding the whole of that title area. I'll call on him again. Remember, the first time I called on him was to assign this width, which is no problem. So right now I'm calling on him. He's heading 1, which is the guy. I want him to have the font size of about 22 pixels, and then the color should be white. I'm just enforcing white there. I also want to tell him that the span should be having some kind of orange color, which is going to be a little lighter, and that's what's up. Look at it here. I will have it, and it's fine. So but the size is quite smaller, so let's make it bigger. So let's be sure that this is heading 1. Yes, it's heading 1. So why not responding? So let's make it some kind of 38. Let's see what will happen. You see it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So we can make it like 42. So at this point we'll leave it here, and we will have to work on the margin of this h1 because the margin is making this gap to be too much. So